Hey guys, Chief Daddy back again. So I just want to do another video to talk through the trades for this coming week, and I wanted to also show off the updated my team dashboard. So we'll go through some of the trades first. I have changed it to be Grundy instead of Baz, and I've traded out Cook. Now, I'll say why. So Cook, I think he's sort of come to an end in terms of his pricing. You can see he had a pretty good wing run, and he did score really well through here. And now Hawks have a decent wing, Geelong have a really good wing, and it looks like Dogs and Melbourne also have good wings, and he has a bye coming up. So I don't think he's going to make a whole lot of cash in this run. Maybe he might. He could also go 80s again. Like, it's not guaranteed, but I think like this scoring might slow down a bit now. If we look at from St Kilda, so yeah, from St Kilda onwards, like it's all been positive runs. Does he regress to like 65 now? Who knows? He still could do 75. Like it's not. I'm not saying he's gonna stop, but I just think that there's not so much more money that he can actually make. If we look at his price. He's priced at 76, which I think is pretty fair. Like what is he realistically gonna do? Another 4 points to 80? Like, is he really an 85 guy? I don't think so. I think this is pretty good for a rookie. Next season he could be jumping up to 85 or even more. But if he goes at 70 and even 80s, he's gonna start losing money. So I don't think I'm going to be keeping him any longer. He was a good scoring rook, but I think I'll just cash him in. I don't want to. I was planning to either do Milan instead, but I need that extra bit of cash from him because I want to get Grundy in. So I took out Baz because there was an injury scare at training, and I remembered last year, like, he gave me 2 donuts last year, and he was always having these managed games, especially starting around now. He had a couple managed games, so I am still thinking about that, and I am concerned about that. That's why I didn't really start him either. Who knows, maybe this season's a bit different. He has been performing really well. Doesn't look like he's going to slow down, but with an injury scare and knowing what he did last year, do I really want to pay 630k for him when for a bit extra I can get Grundy? He's going to be a top 3, not just ruck, like top 3 in the comp. He's going to be averaging at least 130, 120. The next 2 games he's got Geelong and Richmond. So Richmond, you're going to be expecting a 200 game here. There's no ruck. And then Geelong's also a very positive matchup at GMHBA. So last time he went 150 on him at SCG, but Mitch Edwards, like, I don't think he's going to be able to stop him. Maybe they put some of the big guys on Grundy this week, but then he goes MCG. He loves MCG. He loves SCG. Adelaide Oval is normally not the best for rucks, but he already went 150, 140, like just last year. And another 120, so he went 120 for AO and Port last year, and then the run home is like, I don't think he's going to struggle here. I think these are all very positive matchups. There's no Gorn. There's only really Cherry at the end. It's 12 plus because Cherry missed so many games and they had the backup guys, but with Cherry back now, I mean, he had an 87, so this will turn around in the next 5 weeks, I think, if Cherry gets back to his best. So I really wanted to start Grundy, and I really should have started Grundy. I looked at him in the preseason and he looked amazing. I just was worried about the ruck rules, and that's just not worked out the way I thought it would. There haven't really been any issues, and they're actually probably scoring better than they've ever had. So you missed all these scores here, like all these positive matchups. But he hasn't actually changed much in price. He's only really changed like 10k, I think, in his actual price. So, that's a bad starting mistake, but it hasn't really hurt us. He hasn't gone above 750k, or some people are saying he's going to go up to like 750k, but I think he can stay around 700. He might drop. He does do like the 99 game sometimes, like 80s to 90s. Very rare, but he does do them sometimes. So I think this is a fair price. There's no value in a player like Grundy, so you just take it as you get it. Cherry, I was annoyed with this score, but I still think that his upcoming run is going to be amazing. That was the initial reason I picked him over Grundy last week. Like, I think he's going to destroy Wits at Marvel. That's just going to be a revenge game for last week. He always does it. He's going to, West Coast and Richmond again. That's 200 back-to-back games. So I still think Cherry's the better ruck pick to finish the season from here. But if you can afford both, you might as well do it. Gawn and Jackson, I'm not too stressed at the moment. With Heath comes back, you don't know what Gawn's going to be doing. So I think this is a good ruck mix. This is what I really wanted. Doesn't mean Baz and Heaney are a bit of a struggle to get in now. Potentially, there's no space left for them now. I'd have to luxury someone. So these two are still going to go to Holmes. That's already pretty much done. The only problem is I'll have to find a D6 to cover when I do get rid of both of them. These three will go for Nas, not too long away, so they'll take that spot. And these two will go for Cozzy, and then I just got the F6 spot left, and I'll have 7 trades. So yeah, it looks pretty solid. Even if I use 3 trades, I still have 4 trades post buy for any injuries, and I think that should be enough. It does mean I'm stuck with Houston, Clark, Clugs. I'll probably do Walsh, maybe. If he can't turn it around by the end of the buys, I'm probably going to luxury him. And Brayshaw, I think I'm just going to persist. I'm just going to hope he turns it around and goes back to 120s or something. At least try and do 105 average from here. If I could take it back, I would. But yeah, he's been probably my worst trade in all season. Even probably worse than Zohar, because he's just lost so much money. At least Zohar made money. Same with Wayne Miller. So I don't want Oliver necessarily. I could do him here, Todd here, and then get and Stantonopoulos, the rookie guy from Port. We'll see who gets named next week. I still think he's a good player. I just think that GWS has a really strong team. They already have 3 strong halfbacks. Is he gonna get the minutes there? Do they just send him back to the VFL after he's had 2 games and let him practice a bit more and come back? I think that's sort of what I feel like they're going to do with him. Unless he can really do a really good game this week. So I think he might get named this week, but I think after that he could get dropped. We'll see what happens. But Todd, I really need him back because he'll be great to cover in this spot. And if he is back, then I'll probably switch him back here and then get the rookie in the forward line instead. We'll see on Thursday what the teams are. Then Milan will probably swap with Hamilton after DPP, and he'll go here after I get Cozzy. So that will probably be the fixture. So I'll have 1-2 rookies after I get Holmes and Cozzy. And Milan, will probably cover whoever this guy is, Todd, or if it's Oliver. And I think that's a pretty solid team. And then we can work to get Nas here not too long away. And then it's just Milan. Milan will be gone by then. So whoever will be here, the Tom rookie, I think that's pretty solid. I don't think there's not much more better I can do than that. I've got pretty much every single Uber except for Heaney and Baz then. I'm getting really young because of the injuries, because of the potentially going to get managed in the end of the season. Maybe they'll save him for the finals. They don't seem to really need him at the moment. They've already got so many mids. And I don't want to have 4 Freo guys because they're just going to be rotating each week who's going to get the 80 and 90s and who's going to get the 120s. So yeah, I'm done with that. I think 3 max per team is ideal. So yeah, I would have liked to have kept him. I did start him. I did trade him out. I did trade him back in. But yeah, I'm not too stressed with that. Like he did a good job. Injuries, it is what it is, but he'll be fine. I think next season I'll probably start him again, see how he finishes up. So I'll close that. That's that. And then I wanted to go over and show you the new my team. So I'm hoping that it's loaded by now. Yep. So it's just loading my captain. So I've now updated the dashboard. So I don't know. Yeah, my head's in a way, but it looks a lot nicer than it was looking before. Hopefully this captain's loads correctly. We'll see how that comes in a minute, but now you'll see your team for next week, and it has all the DVP, all of the information, like what their last 3 versus this team was, what their last 3 at the venue, last 5 overall, their team average inside your team, and the overall average for the season. So you can look through your entire team, see who could be a captain option. So I'm gonna be doing Grundy, so it doesn't have the trades yet. I'll get the trades next week, but I'll probably do Cherry and Grundy this week. I think Dacos gonna get tagged. I don't really trust Walsh, and like no one else really has a blue ranking in the whole team. So Sheasel another option. I might do him, but like, are you gonna do Sheasel or Cherry? Like, I'd rather do Cherry. I know he's done 130s, but he's slowed down a lot recently, so we'll see. I prefer Cherry. I still got to check on this, why it's not loading. But if you go to Captains tab, it then shows you your average captain. So I've done 136 over the season. I lost 101 points, so I lost 1 point because I had I didn't have Sinclair last week. I had Butters, but 1 point's not a big issue. What I could have had 150 or 149. That's mostly because of this Bont game. I lost 60 points here. That probably would have bumped this up quite a lot, maybe 140 or so. And that's wrong. Yeah, that shouldn't be Kalani White. That should be whoever was looped. So I'll check on that. And then it just shows you, did you do a captain or did you do a VC loop in all these weeks? Yes, I really favored Bont for most of the season. Shows my best captains. So he's on 2 160s and a 150, and my worst captain's also Bont 3 times. So that's pretty interesting to see. Shows who I've captained here. Bont's averaging 136 and Butters 138, and then it shows my points loss breakdown. So round 5 I lost 60% of my points for what could have been optimal. Averages tab, Butters is currently my best player, 10 games played, 126 average in my team. And then it just gives you a ranking of all the players in your team and what they've averaged. So Butters, Jackson, Bont, my top 3. And Nas actually went pretty solid for me when I had him. Pod impact, so this just shows you each week who's making the difference in your scoring. So who's the low scored players that high scored players that are low owned. This will help you get your rankings up each week. Bench, okay, so it didn't capture all the rounds, it's only captured the last couple of rounds, but it says I've lost 55 points this season, so I'll check on this again. But yeah, it just shows you points lost, worst miss, the last player you've missed, gives you a bit of a graph to show how it looks, shows you a list, top 3, and then it shows you each week what it is. So it's missing, Cook and Lindsay and all that. I'll have to double check on that, but yeah, all that will come in here. Rank shows your highest overall rank in the season, your lowest overall rank in the season, your highest weekly, lowest weekly, and it shows your graph of how your weekly goes and how your overall's going and how they can collide. you know. And then just the table down here, and then trades and decisions. I haven't really finished those off yet, so I'll show those maybe in the next video. And this still isn't loading, but yeah, it's making a lot of progress. You can also just jump straight to the buy planner from here. If I open this, it can show you straight away what your buy coverage would look like. Obviously I still need a couple more trades to finish these off, but you know, round 15 looks pretty solid for me. Trading in cherry probably was a bit of an issue for this buy coming up, but getting Cozzy and Holmes should help me out a bit. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to just jump through, and then you can just go back to your team, jump to the standard planner, and then continue planning from there. So you can put your cash, whatever you have, and then you don't have to fill your team in, it's already done. So yeah, that's basically the updates I've had. I'll continue working on this my team. It's pretty exciting how it's going to come out. It's probably one of the most useful things on the app, I'd say. And yeah, if you guys still want it, you can just go to your account, update your plans, and then I'll fetch your teams each week. All right, well, thanks guys. I'll see you on Sunday for the round review.